Hey, what's up, guys? Checking in with you guys. And today, I want to talk about a very, very, very touchy subject with you guys. And in my honest opinion, I'm here to talk about why you as a man should not get married, nor should you have kids in America. And I know how that sounds. It sounds, compared to what people tell us when we're growing up as little kids, me saying that sounds a bit taboo. It sounds hateful, but what I observe in society today, the state of these women, the state of children, the state of the government, the state of public education, the state of the wealth gap between the rich and the poor. I do not think as a man you should ever, especially if you live in America. Outside of America, you can, it's more plausible, but even then, that's still a risk. But we're speaking about America in general. I think that as a man, you should not have kids, nor should you get married. And here's why. Let's start off with, the women in general. Like, we have a culture in America where it's just, these women are not brainwashed. They're not indoctrinated to be wives, like how it was like, like decades ago, like in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s, we have a culture that's embedded in society today where these women are literally just carry around a Jezebel, attention seeking, conflict, conflict introducing type of mentality. Like these women nowadays will create something out of nothing, and try to, emasculate you for trying to hold them accountable, you know. And I've seen it nowadays, man. These women are not marriage material, nor are they mother material. And it's like nobody wants to say anything, but it's the reality, man. These women out here, they have kids as a hobby. They have kids because they have nothing better to do with their time. They have kids just because, they feel like it. They don't really grasp the, severity of bringing a child into this world and, instilling the right type of upbringing, the right type of, training that child needs to survive in this society in today's world. And let's be honest, you guys, who's staying together nowadays, right? No one stays together anymore. We all know those people. We all know multitudes of people in our lives that, you knew them in high school, you knew them, early, like post high school, they had a baby and now they're not together. Now they're co-parenting. Everyone in society in the year 2024, majority of these people are co-parenting, and it's just not worth it as a man because she's gonna, first of all, just for the kid standpoint, she's going to try to get whatever she can out of you, just on that standpoint alone. And I'm not even talking about the marriage yet, because the marriage is an abortion in itself, no pun intended. Having a baby by these women will literally ruin you, for life. I'm sorry, bro. It's just the reality, man. These women out here, they will, suck the life out of you financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically. I done seen, grown men break down because they're just tired of dealing with these women that they shouldn't have, had sex with, they shouldn't have had a baby with, they shouldn't have married. I have seen men break down, commit suicide because of this stuff, man. And that's why I'm here trying to make a video, trying to tell, every young person, who hasn't had a kid yet. I don't have any kids. I'm trying to tell any person within the sound of my voice, it's not worth it in the year 2024. It's just not, man. It is just not, man. Because you know what's going to happen? And especially if she's a woman that follows the algorithm of society, especially if she's a woman that follows people like Sexy Red, Megan Thee Stallion, Taylor Swift, all these media women personality, especially if she's a woman that follows these people, do not, and I repeat, do not Marry the woman. Do not have kids with that woman. Do not do it, because it will ruin you for life, my friend. You know, and let's be honest, guys. We always hear the saying, why would a man sign a contract that only one person gets reward for breaking it? And that is absolutely true, you know, because as soon as she gets bored, as soon as, she doesn't find you amusing no more, as soon as she has friends that's, doing something more interesting to her that she perceives, she's going to fucking leave your ass. Or even worse, as soon as you hit a bump in the road, she's going to leave you. As soon as you suffer financially, she's going to leave you. As soon as you can't provide her the lifestyle that she sees on those apps that brainwashes her every day, she's going to leave you. And guess what? Now you're going to have to deal with what? Alimony, child support. You're going to have to deal with, the nagging, because after you leave them, they nag and nag you. You're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to deal with her sabotaging your relationships, your friendships. You're going to have to deal with them turning your child against you. You're going to have to deal with all of that. And you know what she's going to have to deal with? Absolutely nothing. She's going to have child support that's being paid to her. She's going to have alimony that's being paid to her. She's going to have a court system that's in favor of her. There's no incentive for a man to get married these days. There's no incentive for a man to have children these days. There's just not. And I know what you guys are going to say. I grew up with a traditional family. I want to have one. I'm going to tell you this straight up, you guys. The traditional family, the traditional dynamic in America is dead. It's dead. There's no traditional type anything anywhere. And if you don't believe me, you guys, go out into society these days. Everyone is an individualist. Everyone is a solo act. And it's not worth it, man. It is not worth it, bro. I don't know anybody from my high school who were a couple who had a baby that's still together right now. I don't know anybody. Everyone is, everyone, once they got bored, once the puppy love wore off, once the lust wore off, and they saw each other for who they were, they all split together. They all split apart. And that's how it is these days, man. Especially for these women. And as a man, you really need to really observe, what you're doing and who you're doing it with, because this one night of pleasure with this woman can lead to a lifetime of misery. I can tell you that right now. And I've seen guys, who went down this path, who it ruined them financially, it ruined their lives, and it's very taboo to talk about. But the reality is, bro, not everybody should be. Being parents isn't made for everybody, guys. It's just not. And I know what you guys are gonna say. We're here to do this. We're here to do that. No, we're not. We're literally here to survive. We're literally here to survive. That's pretty much it. Not everybody should be parents, man. And that's just the reality of the situation, bro. Kids are a blessing. Yeah, to some degree they are. But if that kid is birthed by the wrong person in the wrong situation, then that kid is going to be a curse to you. Look at society. Look at society in today's world. Look at how many kids out here have no respect. Are unruly, are disrespectful, and this is the type of world that you as a person want to bring your kids into. Like, I don't understand you people. Like, like, it's the people who, are the brokest people, are the most disgusting people, are the most foulest people, are the most genetically impaired people, that wants to have kids. Like, these people are the brokest, most incompetent people in society. And these are the people that, that birth all these kids into society. Sorry, guys. I know I'm rambling a little bit, but it's quite funny to me, and I observed this, and I really have come to the conclusion, me as a 25-year-old male, as somebody who has no interest in getting married, absolutely not. As someone who've seen the responsibilities of what a kid can do to a person, you know, these kids, you know, when you see a person come back from war and before they were so full of light, then afterwards they come back and they have all the traumas their running through their retina, running through their eyes. You can see everything they've been through when you look at them. They have the 1,000-mile wide stare at you because they're so traumatized from what they've seen. That's how people are after, that's how a lot of people become after they have kids. So many people, if they could turn back the time right now, they wouldn't have had kids. Like, they wouldn't have done it. If they knew what it entailed, if they knew that it was going to drain them this much financially and spiritually, they wouldn't have done it. Especially they wouldn't have done it with the person they had it with once the puppy love wore off. Oh man, guys, don't bring kids into this world. It's not worth it anymore. It's not. And definitely do not get married. Do not get married. These women will ruin you. These women will absolutely drain the life force out of you, and you'll be a shell of your former self. These women do not have your best interests at heart. You're just, in the eyes of these women, trust me, bro. I've been around these women, bro. In the eyes of these women, bro, you are nothing more than a tool for their dopamine hits. That's it. You're just a tool. You're just a tool they use for attention, they use for food, they use for gratification from their friends. Oh, look, they'll say something. Oh, look what type of nigga I got. You're just somebody they're going to use to make their friends jealous. You're just a tool to buy them things. You're just a tool to, for their desires, for their shallow, for their shallow vanity. That's all you are. You're not anything special. She doesn't fucking love you. As soon as you go broke, she's gonna fucking leave you and go to someone else. The only woman that will ever love you in this world unconditionally, as we already know it, is your mom. And some people don't even get that. And that's just, and that's just a very sad situation, guys. So I just, I'm making this video because I really care about, I'm Gen Z, so I really care about my generation and, and how we can go about creating a more peaceful life. And if that peaceful life doesn't have a kid and doesn't have a woman in it, so be it. I'm not saying you can't have fun, you can fool around, but protect yourself, condom, vasectomy, there's a lot of ways, and it's just, guys, it's just not worth it, man. They're not yours. First of all, they're not yours, man. It's just your turn. It's just your turn. And when your turn runs out, hopefully you don't have anything binding towards that loan, like a kid. And then another thing I want to talk about is, like, when you have these kids, these children don't really belong to you, really. They belong to their mother and the government, really. As a man, your kids don't belong to you. Your kids belong to the government first. Then after the government, they belong to the woman. Your kids don't belong to you, man. Like, how often are you going to be in the home, to instill the values that you want to instill amongst them, How often are you going to be in the home, It's like these kids belong to the government. That's why when you go to school, you can't just take your kid out of the school. They belong to the state. They're wards of the state, you know. Once you turn them over to the public school system, they're not your children anymore, you know. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. They think it's, oh guys, we're getting free education. That's their sales pitch to get your kid in the slave system. That's the sales pitch they use to get your kid in that ghetto, you know, that fucking, you know, the jungle circus show. It's free education. It's free. It's free. It's free. You know, guys, nothing in this world is free, guys. And if it's free, it's either lacking in quality or there is no quality. You know, these kids, you know, guys, listen to me. The only people realistically who should be having kids are people who are above, way above the poverty line. If you're not making at least 500,000 a year, you know, if you're not living comfortably, if you're not, you know, if you're not content with where you are, who you are, then, you know, you should not be doing that stuff. You know, look at how many people are in the foster care system. You know, look how many broken homes there are. You know, look how many fucked up families there are. Feel me? Like, look at this stuff, guys. And you mean to tell me that you're gonna be any different? You mean to tell me your fucking poor ass is gonna, your fucking poor genetics, you're fucked up, you come from a fucked up family, you're poor, you know, you're a horrible person, you know you are, you know, you chose a woman, you know, based on her looks. You didn't vet this woman in any type of environment. She just looks good. Now you're going to put a baby in her, and now what? You're going to live happily ever after with all those different elements against you. You gave her a baby based on her looks. You don't have any money. You're poor. You have bad genetics. You come from a fucked up family. You're prone to violence, prone to, you know, irritability. You know, you don't have any patience. You don't have any education to bestow upon that child any valuable information, but your child is going to be different. Is that what you're telling me? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. I'm going to end the video with this. Listen, guys. Me as a man, 25-year-old man, I have no interest in doing either one. You know, and there's just more fun things to do in society, guys. I'm sorry. I'm a man. Even if I wasn't a man, if I was a woman, I still wouldn't want to have a baby. Not in this evil world. You know, not in this world that we live in today, 2024. Not in this evil world. No. There's just more fun games to play. I can be on a beach somewhere, you know. I could be on a beach somewhere with my Mustang with two Latina women drinking margaritas, you know. I could be skydiving. I could be, you know, I could be traveling the world. I could be driving a supercar. I could be living on a ranch, living on a farm. I could be learning different languages. You know, I could be, you know, building my body to be like Dwayne Johnson. There's just more fun things to do than raising another slave in the system, you know, that's going to drain you, you know, and that's all they want. So, guys, I want to hear what you have to say. I don't want to go on and on and on. Do you believe that it's worth having a baby in today's world? I mean, oh, sorry. Do you believe it's worth having a baby or getting married in today's world? What do you guys think?